Happy Friday. It is snowing again. And that's not the only thing I'm going to talk about because it is still technically winter, I guess. What I wanted to cover today, and if you have any questions, jot them in and I'll see if I can both talk, read the comments, and process at the same time. It'll be a good multitasking day. So the the subject matter I'm going to cover today is frequency. It's a frequently asked question. And what it means in my world is more than like a radio channel, although I guess it could be considered very similar in that we all have our own channel. We all have our own frequency that we are resonating at and we're vibrating at. And it's literally not only our atoms in our physical body and all of that are producing a vibration, but it's the energy field around us as well. And someone's frequency is very malleable. Like you can change it, you can increase, you can decrease. And it becomes apparent once you start practicing it and being aware of it, where someone may be in their own evolution. It is something that I believe is part of our soul's growth, as is everything that we do. And I feel like it's our responsibility to take good care of our frequency, so to speak. It contributes to what is often called prana, life force, chi, spirit. There's probably a few hundred others, but it contributes to that in that when you are paying attention to your frequency, and I'll get into how you can do that, but it can create really more energy in life, and you can have a lot more fun while you're here, and you can create more of an expansive experience while you're here. So the soul has its own frequency or vibration, and when it's choosing to come in and picking the parents and all of that, it often lines up with the group that will help us to learn the most, help us to expand and to raise that frequency. So I'm sure you've all met someone who has kind of, well, when you meet them, you can almost hear the thud, right? Like their energy is just like, thump. And I'm not talking grounded, solid energy. I'm talking somebody who probably has that woe is me, life always stinks, that kind of outlook. That often is a lower vibrational frequency. So if you think of, water sitting in a pot, right? That's not bouncing very much. It doesn't have much of a atom action going on there. But the more you turn up the heat, the more aware you become of where you are in your life, and the more conscious you become. It really does come to that. The higher your frequency goes, and the more you kind of head towards that rolling boil. Steam would be when you croaked. So let's spend some time in the rolling boil, okay? So animals have their own frequency. Plants, trees, any one-cell amoeba has its own frequency. It may not be the frequency you want to bounce around at, but I'm sure it's doing okay with the other one-cell amoebas. So the awareness that you have something other than your intelligence, and you have something other than your looks or your skills, talents, any of those outwardly expressive means, when someone is aware of their own specialness, uniqueness, vibrational offering to the universe, you can see it in someone. They're much more conscious of their words. They're often more connected to those around them. And they often are interested in like what could be the outcome of a situation, not in like defensiveness or in kind of freaking out energy, but in how can this be of the highest intention for everyone. So when you're new to the idea that you have this vibrational offering to the universe, it may take a little bit to hone in on, right? So what you do, you just practice. When I'm with this group of people, do I feel lit up? Do I feel like I'm excited about something? Do I feel like I want to know more? Because that raise in frequency is the expansion of your soul, your human self, and the whole kit and caboodle. So when you are becoming mindful of this, you can often see in others where they may not be aware, or where they may just think it's total hogwash, and that's fine. Move on, because you're going to lower your vibration if you hang out with them. The process of attracting like minds to you and like people to you, there's a lot of talk in the law of attraction of like attracts like. I completely agree with that. But it's not so much in what you're saying or what you're thinking or even believing. It is the combination of that frequency without, I'm going to say the word frequency frequently, so just get used to it. It is that, right? And that you can meet someone that you don't even know why you like them. You just feel like they're a hoot and I'm going to sit next to them at the party. So that will be because of their frequency. And equally, there will be some that give you no reason. They were outwardly kind. There's no data to prove that you wouldn't resonate well with them, but you just don't want to be around them. And this is one of the things that can help you in navigating this human experience. If you pay attention to how your field, it usually shows up out here, affects you. Oh, look, I can affect the sunlight too. I have the power. So being in a mindful space about where your energy level is means that you will pay attention to the shows you watch, to the music you listen to the foods you eat. If you want to raise your vibration from where it is, if you're feeling kind of complacent, not really sure where life is, you can shift that very quickly by eating foods that are whole. They have one ingredient, and that's the food. That frequency of live foods will raise yours up as well. And it's something to consider the next time you go grocery shopping. You can also raise your frequency by asking Archangel Michael for white light. And I love this method. I feel like it's a very kind thing to do for the universe. You can ask other people to be surrounded in white light, and it should come from the heart space. Like, you don't want to be surrounding someone because you want them to cheer the hell up. You want to surround them because you genuinely want them to feel good, or feel calm or feel centered. So that practice of doing it for yourself on a daily basis, maybe a couple times a day, will raise your frequency as well. Meditation is going to give you that boost up. And I'm a big fan of short and sweet meditation. I feel like if people make themselves go into meditation or have a prescribed time that they think is effective, that you actually reverse the effect of meditation itself. So if you can stare out the window, if you can daydream a little bit, if you can feel that kind of fuzzy place right before you go to sleep, any of that will raise up what you are offering yourself and then what you are creating out. Stones can help. So crystals, other stones like selenite, clear quartz, rose quartz, pick out the ones that work the most for you. I love citrine, so that can raise my vibration pretty quickly if I'm feeling a little cranky. So the stones, essential oils, there are some great products out there, doTERRA, Young Living. I've gotten some pretty nice ones at Guido's too, so not just in ordering. And they can raise your frequency up and just play around with it. Not that some of the essential oils, one of my closest friends, like, I can't stand the smell of, which probably means I need to work with them. But go with the ones that actually make you feel joyful and connected. Another way to raise your vibration is through body work with a practitioner who is either similar vibration to you or higher. Don't go to somebody who complains the whole time, who's not on time for their appointments, who wants to tell you all about their life. That is not going to help you raise your vibration. It's poor business, but it's also not going to help you raise your vibration. So acupuncture, craniosacral, massage, Reiki, whatever lines up with you, whatever feels like it's contributing to who you are. Good sleep, plenty of water. Water will raise your vibration very quickly. So, that whole hydration part of being human, it contributes to also your whole self and how you're connecting. So just getting interested in something like a new subject or a new hobby, or being like little kid-like, right? I just started this arrow garden that my grandchildren's mom and their dad gave me. And okay, the first pods didn't go so well, but they were old. So I got new ones in, and those little things are popping up all over the place. I have chives and lavender and basil growing in my kitchen. And it's so cute to see them come up. That is definitely not only raising the vibration in my home, it's raising the vibration in myself when I see how adorable those little sprouts are. But then when I also think, how much is that going to save me at the grocery store for this rabbit who eats so much? So that makes my pocketbook raise in vibration. Well, I didn't think of that one. That's a good one. So exercise, as long as you are breaking a sweat and you're enjoying it, will absolutely raise that up too, as well as reading and good sleep. So basically whatever has you really being present and connecting with yourself will help you invite in this expansion of your whole self, which will then raise the frequency. It's a bit like a relay race. So things that will decrease your vibrational offering are things like any substances, right? So alcohol, extracurricular activities, drugs and stuff. And I know some people use them as a method to get to opening up, but what I have seen, and I can only speak from the eye place, is that that is not helpful. It's giving you the illusion that you're raising your vibration, but there's often a decrease that comes afterwards that, to me, I don't know why you would want to be consistent and be mindful, do something up here and then boom, down back again, so you gotta climb up the ladder again. So preservatives will lower your vibration. Some of the food changes and stuff that I've made over the last few months haven't all, well, none of them have been about how my body looks on the outside, but they have been because as I raise my frequency, I just can't eat meat. And that's okay. It's not something that's resonating with me. And I want to keep my system open and clean, and it doesn't work for me. So it's good. It makes shopping easier. So the staying away from drama will keep your vibration up. When people are very fear-based or tattletales and just want to talk about other people, it seems like their vibration is high because usually the voice goes up or you get 4 exclamation points, or they just seem so dang convinced in their side of the story that you would think that they were vibrating high, but they're not. That's actually a very low vibration spiritually of jealousy, anger, just a bunch of others. So save the drama for the llamas and connect in with those people who feel like they're not only going to align at the level you're at, but that pull you up a little bit. And we're all expanding eternally. So if you have an intention and some kind of understanding or knowing that there's a point to this stuff, you will inevitably line up with those that are just so easy to be with. And that's another way you can know that they're in frequency. Relationships can be tough because a lot of the times we will meet someone and feel like they're right there, and they will be, and it will be, fun or invigorating. And then as time goes on, if one of the members or both decide that they're going to shift, right? They're going to put some intention to whatever's their thoughts or beliefs or how they care about themselves. We're not all going to be on the same trajectory. So it can shift a relationship that looks amazing and feels amazing, but then all of a sudden, one or the other says, this just isn't working for me. And can we please start honoring that? Like if somebody says this isn't working for me, stop chasing them. Who the heck wants to be with someone who doesn't want to be with them? So, but recognize that there's a basis of that frequency there. And it may be something as simple as you're just no longer on the same radio station, and you can learn about yourself, but asking another person to change who they are so it works for you rarely works out well. So keep your eyes in your own lane or on your own paper and pay attention to how you can increase it. And that goes for those of you in business too. You want to attract to you the best clientele, although I have the best, so I don't know. Well, I'll send them to you too, so you can see that they're the best. But I'm a little biased. So where your frequency is, as a person, not just in business, but as a person, will attract to you those people who can hear you and those people who can benefit from your services. So if business went down, you might want to take a good look at home and see what's going on within you. And maybe you just need a weekend off or something, but you got to take responsibility for whatever light you are shining out there. And sometimes the battery's a little low and the light is not so great. So who's going to see it? It's a way to look beyond your marketing and how many hours you're on Facebook or anything like that. So with the idea that you have this frequency, please know it will ebb and flow. No one is going to stay up in this joyful, woohoo, there goes life place all the time. It's not sustainable. It could be exhausting. So it's going to ebb and flow, but the distance between the ebb and flow should be so slight that only you recognize it, not others. So you can do something to adjust it. Maybe you just need to do one of those things I talked about earlier about raising it up. Being grateful. Oh, that's a good one. Thanks, guys. This just in. Being grateful and appreciative for what is already in your world right now. Like these lovely ladies who have shown up today while I'm talking to my camera in my office. I am very appreciative. And then everyone who has the time later to watch the videos and then send me your amazing emails and everything. I'm so grateful. That will raise your vibe up as well. So, and you've heard me say that your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you are tired of the tribe you have around you, or it's just no longer resonating for you, you got to look at yourself and be willing to shift that in, in some of these ways. So when you take responsibility for that, one of my favorite words, if you take responsibility for what you're broadcasting, you can also embrace the payoff and the joy from it as well. As we become more aware that there's so much more to us than these physical beings, the emotional, nervous, limbic system, it all calms down. So if you're taking, something for anxiety to calm your buns down, great, stay with it. How about employing some of these other ideas so that you can maybe allow your system and what it knows to do to help you be calm to step in. So medications will lower your vibration. I believe in them for support, but not to lean on for your entire life. So looking at some of the therapists are going to yell at me, but obviously there are some medical conditions that require that. There's my disclaimer. But I see a lot of people who come in and who are taking a lot of medication and they have not even looked at that they even have an energy system that they could be helping, and then that will then help their physical self, their emotional self, the mental, all of it. It's all connected. So another way that you could raise your vibration, for 3 of you anyways, I have 3 spots open for the Realms class tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. And we talk a lot about raising the vibration, but we also practice it. And don't worry, I won't make you become vegetarians just because you're coming to the class. What you decide how to raise it is up to you. And so when you are going through this next week, why not play a game, have some fun in seeing if you can feel where your frequency is. What are you offering? Is it of a high caliber frequency, or is it a, just annoying, pitchy, not so great energy? Don't judge it, but shift it. Do something, get your butt out of the chair, move around, clean something, call someone, make a good meal, something. The other day, was it Wednesday? I was a cranky pants. And there was an energy that went through, and it wasn't just barometric pressure. There was an energy that went through late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and I caught it. I caught it in the ethers. I woke up with it. But because I'm become so practiced, it wasn't always natural at checking in with where my frequency was and what was I offering out into the universe, because you want to help, not hinder. I got on the treadmill, made a good meal, and it started to dissipate. So wasn't immediate, but it started to dissipate. So that kind of self-awareness is a gift you give yourself, and then you offer it out. So see where your frequency is this week. Do something to adjust it. Try not to go into complaining, but do something to adjust it. And then after you're aware of where yours is, you can maybe feel it out to where the kids are, or where's the house plant. The plants outside right now are a little difficult because they're still in dormancy, so it's hard to feel their vibration, their frequency. But you could definitely get there. So thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you for your comments, and ladies, for all of you showing up. That is showing and joining. We're creating a new word. We're showing. We're showing up. And I'm going to go to one of those amazing clients right now. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. Bye.